Hey, what do you say? Welcome to Horton Soils tutorial over planning for the 1920 school year. What you see here in front of you is a teacher planner that's got several different sections in it. Our planners offer these sections as a general basic planner, and then of course you can customize them as you wish. This is an easy thing that you could do yourself. You can make a planner work that you might find in one of your favorite stores like Target or Mardell's or Hobby Lobby or whatever. As long as you have a planner of some sort, it's a great way to get started for the school year. My planner includes an important information section, a calendar, lesson plans, roster, to-do, and notes. We're going to break this up in a couple of different sections. So today we're going to look at our important information as well as the calendar and lesson plans. Then tomorrow we'll look at the roster, the to-do, and the notes section. All right. The first thing I would like for you guys to notice about my planner is, one, I like to keep it pretty simple. I don't like tabs on the sides because when I use a backpack and I don't want that to crease in. So I use paper clips to hold my pages together, and I just use a washi tape that coordinates with my planner to mark them, similar to tabs when you look at it from the side. There's one there, and one there. Now the paper clips serve the purpose of not only marking your tabs, but like when you're working in your calendar section, you can pin it back to just be able to view the section that you're working in. So for right now, let's look at important information. The pieces that we include in our important information is password reminders. For me, for the longest time, I'd use the same username, same password. And then certain sites started asking me to revamp the passwords or change them. So I have found that it's very important for me to write that down. Yep, I have to admit I'm finally getting old and can't remember it all. I don't have any important sites on here with username and passwords like banks or my school logins. It's accounts that would be super easy to stop and restart if someone was to get a hold of this. So it's not anything that I'm too concerned about. Currently right now, I typed my sites in, but I'm going to come in here and handwrite my username and password at a later time. Then we have important contacts. I don't have all my numbers saved in my phone, and or there might be times when I don't have my phone with me and I might need to call someone. So currently right now in my important contacts, I have my kiddo's school number, doctor, phone numbers, dentist, those kinds of things. Other things that you might want to put in your important contacts might be your contact for your fundraising group. It might include your area coordinator. You might want to put in there your department head. So if you're absent and you need to contact someone, those are some good things to have in your important contacts section. At the school that I work at, we have to document our extra duty days. So most ag teachers have a 12-month contract, and it's just expected that you work from July 1 to June 30th and you get like 2 weeks off. Well, some may say it's a blessing, some may say it's a curse, but we have to count our 33 days that are extra contract days, and we have to document it. So I put these pages in here so that I could keep up with what days I worked extra. It was not considered a regular work day, what I was doing, where it was at, what time I got started, and what time I left. I also have a SubDe page in here. You could use this to document the days that you're out, but we are asked to sub sometimes during our conference period or a coordinating period, and they pay us for it. So this is a good way to document the class periods that you might have been working and make sure that you're getting your supplemental pay for it. And then the rest of the important information is parent contact pages. We all hope that we have those great classroom management skills, but sometimes even the best skills don't conquer the strongest students. So you may have to make contact, or you may be in a district where the administration requires X amount of times of parent contact, and it's got to be documented in some form or fashion. So this is a great reference tool to use for that. All right. Our next section is the calendar. This is definitely where I would use my paper clips. So for instance, once I get past my tab, I inserted my personal kiddos school district calendar, and then I also inserted my campus calendar for the upcoming school year as references. And then I have a year at a glance fall semester. Whoops. Only fall semester, because I only did a semester planner. This is just where you can kind of oversee the semester at a glance. If you did a full year planner, you would also have a section for the spring semester. I've not filled this out just yet, but what I'll probably do is go in with a highlighter that matches the color pieces from our calendar and mark it for me to reference, and then also to make any kind of notes of things that I might have done on the weekend that could be supplemental for my pay and contract agreements. And then, of course, you have your typical monthly outlook. On my calendar, I chose to use the washi tape. I like it because you can, if you don't like how you put it down, it's easy to come back up. The one thing that I noticed is that I'm going to need a fine tip permanent marker to actually be able to see what I wrote on the tape. The other thing you could do is just write along the top or just write directly on your calendar. I'm a little OCD and I really like my things to be nice and neat and simplistic, so I write in pencil unless I know it's a guaranteed item of business. That way I can change it if I need to. I highly recommend that once you know what your school year is going to look like as far as days that you're going to be off for student holidays, professional development, work days, all of that, is to go in and mark your calendars so that you know those required days. So I've already got in here my professional development that I'm going to have to do, a workshop that I have to do, when my personal kids start, when I start, my kids' holidays, and then I've highlighted holidays that me and my kiddos have together, and so on. So you can kind of see that. The good thing is that if you go ahead and mark now your school calendar, then when you go to teachers conference or you get your area calendar, you can go in and mark those important dates to make sure that you're not overlapping. I feel it's very important that the sooner you can put together your fall calendar and get that distributed, the better, because it kind of gives everybody a heads up and there's no excuses for not taking care of business. So on the paper clip, because I want to be able to reference things pretty quick when I look for things, we're in the month of July, so I would just paper clip that to my tab, and now when my book is closed, it'll go straight to July and I don't have to worry about anything else. Next, lesson plans. In the lesson plan section for you new teachers, it's not a spot for you to put down all of your billion ideas. It's the general topic. This is how teachers used to plan back in the good old days before you had to have all those wonderful extra pieces to the documentation that your principal might ask for. So for me, this is just a layout that I'm going to write the general topic of what I'm going to be talking about for the day. I might put in these boxes things that I might need to pick up or pieces that I might need to print and those things. This is the first week of school for me, and right now I only have this first line filled out for my ag business class, and that's because the rest of my classes are going to be doing the exact same thing with the exception of my CTED. So I will actually use the rest of this space to fill out other things that I might need to know specific to those lessons so that I can fill it in. I also like that on my lesson plan section, I leave room for after hours so that I can mark on this page times when I might have to go to a meeting, when we might have FFA activities and those kinds of things, so that when I'm looking at what my week looks like, I can see what I'm teaching as well as what's going on that week. And then I've got a big section here open for notes. I think that that's about it on the lesson plans. Just remember to try to keep it simple and just a reference of what the day is going to look like so that you can remember to pull your materials out. I'm not going to have an extensive video. We're at about 11 minutes, so we're going to stop there for tonight, and then tomorrow I will show you guys the roster, then my favorite section, the to-dos, and a great way to use your notes. So make sure you join us tomorrow. I haven't forgotten about the newsletter. Just been a busy day. Didn't quite get it all done, so we hope to get that out to you guys tomorrow. If you haven't signed up for that, make sure you grab the link, sign up, so that when we get that sent out, you get the newest edition. Thanks, and have a great night.